Welcome to Conversations with Dr. Harriet and our special guest, Sharvette Mitchell. How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much, Dr. Harriet, for having me here on your platform. I'm excited to share with your audience.
Well, you know what, Sharvette? I've known you now. It's been, gosh, 35
Many,
maybe years.
many moons ago.
Many years. And we went to the same church, New Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Uh, International Ministries in Richmond, Virginia, and shout out to Apostle Olive Brown and also Bishop Joel Brown, the pastors there. But
Yes.
yeah, so over the years, I just have been always impressed on how God has just brought you out to be able to minister and to help so many people, especially women across the world, with the online, being an online strategist, being a talk show host. And so for those few people who may not know you, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have mutual respect and admiration for each other. And so I'm Sharvette Mitchell and online marketing strategist and coach. And I work with female entrepreneurs, high achieving women. A few men get sprinkled in. And I'm really focused on their marketing, their visibility, and their branding. And I do a lot in the area of elevating and presenting their expertise with a polished visual brand, also working on visibility so that they get more speaking engagements, packaging up their expertise and showcasing it in books with book collaborations, and then also heavily focused on content marketing so that they can convert more customers from their social media, their email marketing, and all of that. So those are the areas that I work in. I do that in a couple of ways. I have conferences every year. I release books every year. And I have the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, which is every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And it's over 14 years old now. Can you believe that?
Wow. That
Yeah.
is so amazing. I was actually on your show a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I got to get you back. We gotta get you back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That is really good. And also, tell us about the book that's coming out. We had Pastor Michelle Claiborne on last month, and I know she is a part of this book. But share with our audience about the book that's coming out in November.
Yes, I'm so excited. Pastor Michelle Claiborne, one of our co-authors. And the book is called Pursue. Chase your dreams and your passions in business, life, and in leadership. And I pulled together, there are a total of 14 of us. I'm the visionary author, and I pulled together 13 leaders and customers and asked them to write a chapter about pursuit. However they pursue their aspirations, their goals. We have pharmacists in the book. We have therapists. We have preachers. We have life coaches. We have grief recovery counselors, and they all share from a different aspect around pursuits in life and really just going after your goals and dreams. And laced in that is their personal stories within some wisdom and some nuggets that we all share. So Pursue will be out November, but we will be going into pre-sales coming up. So just keep an eye on all of my pages.
Oh, that's so awesome. Congratulations. I can't wait to read it. I know it's going to definitely be a blessing. And also, you have a conference coming out as well in November, correct?
Yes. So this is my sixth conference, the sixth annual pop-up conference for women entrepreneurs, and it's happening in Richmond, Virginia, 4 Points by Sheraton, and it's going to be November 4th through the 6th. And you know what, Dr. Harriet, when I started out, I never wanted to host an event. Now you are the event person. I just went to your last event where we packed out the restaurant, no parking spaces, no parking on the side of the street. Like, you are the event person. You host an event and just people show up. But originally, before I started the pop-up conference, I didn't want to host events. I didn't want to chase people down for tickets and all of that kind of thing that you remember sometimes in when you're hosting an event. But I've got to tell you, Dr. Harriet, it is one of the best things I did for my business. I'm an early adopter to social media, and I know you as well in the marketing space. but there's nothing like getting people offline, out of emails, and getting them in a room together and really curating a learning experience for them. And so the pop-up conference is really one of the highlights for me, my clients. I have clients that meet each other. You know, they've been either in my platform builder program or in my Hey Girl Hey group, you know, interacting for a year, and then they get to meet in person, and there's this magic that happens, not in a hoo-ha way, but really divinely that just happens, and they connect. And so the pop-up conference is one of the things that's just such a highlight each year. So we're excited to host it again.
Oh, that's so awesome. And they can go to your website to find out more information about everything that you do, and being a part of not only the conference, but just how you can help them market their businesses. It's so wonderful. And I love it because it's not only with, women in business, it's also churches that can use you, just business people. So not only women, but across the board, actually across the world, people can use you in so many different ways. So definitely make sure you go to her website and check her out. She's also a conference speaker, amazing conference speaker. So again, if you're looking for a speaker for your conference, she is your girl. Definitely will bless you. Will definitely bless you. So today we're talking about must-have online marketing strategies. So tell us a little bit about that subject and how it even came about.
Yeah. So I think what the pandemic showed all of us, showed businesses, showed churches, ministries, nonprofits, that the online space cannot be ignored, and we are in a new normal. And so customers, supporters now have a new appreciation and expectation for you and your brand to be online. Because if we think about it, before, if we surveyed, and I know your audience, there's a lot of ministry leaders and leaders in your audience. And if we surveyed and asked, how many were online streaming services or streaming Bible studies before the pandemic versus after, and now we're coming up on the, out of the pandemic, I'm sure that there would be a vast difference in who was doing it before and who's been doing it now. But those types of things have helped businesses continue, have helped ministries continue. And so that's really, really one of the things and one of the reasons why I am passionate about getting out tips and expertise around how to strengthen your online presence, because we are in a new normal. And what has been provided to customers online and members and supporters is going to continue. I was at Kroger Click List I love going on the app, putting in my, the order of what I want, and them coming out and bringing that to my car. I'm probably not going to go back into the grocery store
ever again.
Right. And so that's not going away. And so that is one of the things that's really important, I think, for all of us to keep in mind.
That's so true, Sharvette. And even with churches now, with, online, with ministry, we're used to now sitting in our living room with our pajamas, having a cup of coffee and watching church services. So, although some people have already started going back, and, there are a lot of people who will not go back into the church setting because they've gotten so used to that. So even with that, you're showing people how to take advantage of that particular situation. Is that right?
Absolutely. And, we found out that, we didn't backslide. We didn't leave God because we weren't in the building. Now, certainly I am a proponent of us gathering and worshiping.
Right.
What, like you said, there will be people who either will never go back, or they realize, okay, well, I could go 2 Sundays and then worship online for 2 Sundays. And so what that means for churches is that even if you go back or are going back, the streaming broadcast still has to be at a full level, that people at home can worship and experience it. Interacting with people during the stream, those things are still very important, even if you're fully back. There are some churches that are fully back, that never really kind of came out of their normal.
Right.
But the streaming has allowed people to still connect with their ministry. The other thing that has happened, Dr. Harriet, is that it also allowed people to kind of go visit churches that perhaps they hadn't visited before.
Right.
And that might be scary for some, but that's what this online space and the pandemic allowed people to do.
Oh, that's so true. Because now, we have a few online pastors. So on Sunday mornings, we're kind of switching around, and we, send our offering to whichever one we're watching at the time. And but it did give us a chance to really look at other ministries, not only in our area but through other areas. But I've noticed that even things like you have the pastor saying, hey, put in the chat, or, they'll tell you to make comments in the chat. So if they're not getting that amen, the amen is coming in the chat. And I've noticed how even now they have their Bible studies, they have small groups that meet online, their ministries meet online. And I love it. I love that we were able to adapt. And, and not that we're happy about the pandemic, of course not, but, I'm glad that it did happen during a time where we were, on social media and we had access to the internet. Just think if this had happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, it would be a different story. And, as an online marketing strategist, sometimes, and we're talking ministry, but really, those that are listening from a business angle, nonprofit, it is all the same. And we might not, for ministry, we might not think about, well, is that marketing? Yes. Whatever you're able to present to the community about your church, that is a marketing tool. So if you're streaming services, streaming Bible studies, like you said, the pastor saying, put in the chat. So interacting with people or getting them to interact with your stream, even Zoom. So even if streaming is not the right tool, then doing Zooms. A lot of churches are doing Zooms. Guess what? The telephone still works. So teleconference lines are still working, or the option of the Zoom gives you the teleconference line. So that kind of marries the online and those that are comfortable with the telephone. And so those are all things that help get the word out about your ministry, which ultimately gets the word out, good news out about Christ. So you do have to think about it as marketing.
Absolutely. Also, I just want to really quick kind of pivot a little bit into excellence. Yeah. How important is it for you to at least know what you're doing when you're streaming? Yeah. I've seen during this time some terrible streaming that has happened, and the internet connection may not be good, or you have, I've actually even seen, it's crazy because even with funerals, the streaming of funerals now, but the audio is off, and you have the person who is handling the Zoom may have their phone on. Yes. So you have all that interference. How important is it to be of excellence during this time?
Yeah, it shows that you're prepared and that you're prepared for the people. I heard Dr. Jackie McCullough say early on in the pandemic, and I loved it. She was like, the people have to be prepared for. And I love that. And even with the streaming and Zooms and all of that. And so some of it is just preparation. Now, I will say from time to time, you're not able to control. Sometimes the internet goes out and all of that. Yeah. But one thing that we all can control and should all think about is that the mic is always on, which is the title of Bishop T.D. Jakes' new book. The mic is always on. And so if you are running the Zoom, mute yourself. Just like you said, I was watching a funeral earlier this week, and it was on live stream. They live streamed it, but it was getting started late. So they had maybe like just a rotating video playing, but you could hear the person who was either manning it say, hey, so-and-so, we need you to get the scripture together. And so it was kind of like just simple as making sure you're muted, or either get up and go over to the person. Those things come across, because here's the thing, there's so much excellence that's out there. People have a lot to compare to.
That is so true, because just think if your stuff is mess, and people look at it's so easy to flip over and type in another name. you
Yeah.
know, and we watch everything on the big screen. So I attach my computer or I'll pull it up, you know, from the internet onto my TV. And so if it's not acting right, it's nothing to
Yes.
just type in another name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so we need to make sure we're of excellence, and even, you know, when it comes to even offerings, and you know, have everything together. Don't make people have to look. You know, I love, like right now I have the ticker going across the screen, so
Yeah.
we're not having to say each time my guest is Sharvette Mitchell. Her website is her social media. I don't have to say that because it's on the ticker. And so I love that whenever the churches, you know, are able to put even the offering information on the screen and allow people, give people a chance to go on and, you know, because I see it comes up so fast and I'm like, what did they say? So, you know, sometimes I even take a quick picture to make sure I.
Right. Or you might have to scroll through. I know I've been, on streams and it was a concert. I wanted to be a blessing in there. There wasn't any Cash App or anything. And I was like scrolling through the comments to see if there was something. So you're right. And it could be a squishy place. It can be maybe an uncomfortable place that people don't want to feel like they're begging. But it's really just a kind of a customer service. Like if you want the information, here it is, either scrolling
Right.
or pinned. But so that's probably what's happening is people don't want to look like they're asking for money because, the church gets a negative rap in the world.
Right.
Money.
That's right.
Yeah.
So tell us some more must-have online marketing strategies.
All right. So we talked about streaming. So that's at the top of the list. And that's, again, businesses, ministries, nonprofit. You want to absolutely be doing some type of streaming, whether it's live or pre-recorded. So there's different options. There's different tools that are out there. If you are already streaming, now it's time to go to the next level and multi-stream or stream to multiple places. So for those that are like, I got the streaming down, I'm good with that. Next thing then is to look at tools like StreamYard, Restream. There's some other ones, OneStream, that will allow you to be in multiple places because, for instance, there's some people who aren't on Facebook. Like we assume everybody in the world is on Facebook, but they're not. There's some people that are not social media people, and my sister is one. My sister is not on social media, but she likes Periscope. She liked Periscope because her and her husband like watching videos, and Periscope went down and they gravitated to YouTube. So they look at YouTube. So if your ministry is streaming on social media, also make sure that there's a YouTube tie-in that will help you get found and also serve your entire population. So that's the first thing.
And then I like that even with, like, we're on StreamYard right now, but I love that, you can actually stream on, we could show this on Facebook. We could show this on YouTube. I love the fact that, now there's so many different avenues to when you're streaming that you can do one time and have it go to multiple different platforms. I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The second thing that's a must-have, if your business or ministry or nonprofit is on Instagram, you have to get into Reels, Reels. And those are 30 to 60 second videos, vertical videos that you can record, you can post pictures, you can post videos, but they're only 30 to 60 seconds, but they are wildly popular. And that is the thing. If you don't do anything else on Instagram, get into recording 30 to 60 second reels. So it's really quick. For those that have a fear about video, you might say, well, live streaming is too much. You can do a 30-second video. You can do a 60-second video and post it. And so that is the must-have, must-do thing if you're on Instagram Reels.
And what does that do for your business, ministry, personal life? What does that do?
So what happens with Instagram Reels is that they show your content in a constant feed that is not just the people that are following you. So it gives you.
Now, I did not know that.
Yes, not just your followers. If you post Reels, you'll see people liking it that you don't know who they are. So Reels help build your audience because Instagram is showing your content to other people. That's the key.
Wow, that is really good. I
Yeah.
did not know that. I learned something new today myself.
Yeah.
I see it all the time and I watch, I
Uh-huh.
watch everybody's reels. And so, okay. So even what about things like the TikTok? I see TikTok. I'm not a part of it, not yet, but I had a fear with TikTok that, they said that, well, China's going to have your information or Russia's going to have your information. And I have a niece who is, security, in cybersecurity, and she told me they already have your information.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they
The government has
got to
your
get,
stuff, so
right,
TikTok is okay.
right, whatever they got to get. So
Yeah.
TikTok, so Instagram Reels, if you think about what we just talked about, Instagram Reels actually kind of snook and took the idea from TikTok. So
Okay.
TikTok is the same. You get a little bit more time on TikTok, so you want to think, 15 seconds up to 3 minutes. Most accounts I think have up to at least a minute. So it is vertical. So when we say vertical, your phone is this way. Record it on your phone's videos. That's what it is. It can be, you can add some pictures, but it's mainly video. And the same way with TikTok is that you could have 5 followers, but they're going to show your content in kind of this main feed. And so TikTok is a cool place to be. I would say start with Instagram because you probably already have followers and have a little connection on Instagram. But if you're really get into these videos, these short videos, it would be great to be on TikTok. And TikTok has a lot of views. People go viral, all that kind of thing. But it's because your content is shown in a main feed, not just to the people that are following you.
And a real quick question, I don't want to run out of time, but another quick question is I hear people talk about how their internet sensation, they went viral and now they're making millions of dollars, being on Instagram or being on TikTok or being on YouTube. How does that happen?
So what happens is those platforms do have an affiliate or a payment system for views. So YouTube has been doing it, and so that's really kind of like the forerunner of this. And so according to views, you get an account with them. After you have a certain amount of views, a certain amount of number of people following you, then you can enroll and get paid for views. So that's basically what it is. And so that's on YouTube. They've been doing it. TikTok has started and is doing that. And now I believe Instagram has gotten into that. But if they're really making money, it's not just from the views. If you're smart, you would leverage your platform to draw people to other stuff. So your own merchandise, your own services, speaking engagements, things of that nature. That would be what would be smart for anyone that goes viral, is to make
Wow.
sure you have your own stuff, your own platform that you can draw people to. But they are probably getting paid as well as from the views.
Okay, so would you put your website on? What do you put on there for people to follow you?
Yes. So all of these sites have at least one place to put a link. So
Okay.
Instagram, that's everywhere across social media. So where you have that kind of link in the bio, do you see that on posts? I know I say that a lot on Instagram, link in the bio. Well, there one link that's in the bio should drive them to where they can buy something, purchase something, donate, or what have you. So that's where you
Mhm.
would put the information so that people can go somewhere and support you.
I love that. Okay, so give us a few more. I know our time is ticking over
All
here, but
right.
some more must-have online marketing strategies.
All right. So definitely your visual branding is important. And I'm a huge proponent of presenting, as you said, excellence. And so a part of what people see is what you present to them. So you want to have some great photography. That will help you to put on your website and social media, blogs, emails, all of that, which is all internet, all online marketing. So make sure that you get an updated photo shoot, and then have different shots in the photo
You
shoot as
mean
well.
we can't use our high school pictures?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You can't use your dingy prom picture that you scanned in because you liked how your hair looked. You need to
Right.
look like your picture needs to look like you, but on a good day. So we don't
On
want to
a
go to
good day.
on a good day. We don't want to go to the extreme of, do you remember glamour shots? You remember those
Right.
really staged
Absolutely.
cowboy hats and bow
Right.
ties? Not talking about that, but you on a good day, some makeup, good, good lighting, get a good photographer. So that absolutely will take you a long way. I have a prime example of that is that I have an online magazine. I think they actually are print as well. That reached out to me and want to feature me in the magazine. And they said, please. And one of the things that they said to send was 8 to 12 pictures. Send them 8 to 12 pictures. So if you're going to pursue media attention or media attention is going to come to you, you got to be ready, because most people only have 1 or 2 headshots. So they wouldn't even be able to fulfill that request. But if you get a full brand photo shoot, then you'll be ready, and you won't have to be getting ready. As
That's
Monique
right.
said,
I
be
love
ready.
that. I love that. You be ready ahead of time. And that, that's even another just thing we want to just touch on just really quick, but
Yes.
just be ready. If someone asks you, if you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to be online, someone is going to contact you. And so be ready, whether it's through a message or through business, if they're asking for your website or, what do you use to market? Have everything ready to go so people aren't waiting, for the product that you promised already. So
Right.
I love that. Be ready.
Be ready, be ready. And the last thing I'll wrap up with, because there's so many things, but when we talk about must-haves, is that you definitely want to be consistent. And this is where most people miss it, Dr. Harriet, is that they'll have energy behind them, or maybe they have an event and they're promoting and then they disappear. And you're really good about you promote. So consistency is the must-have, because that's really the only difference between A and B business, A and B ministry, A and B nonprofit. Somebody's consistent and somebody is not. And so consistency will win every time. I can prove it. Look at McDonald's. If you have ever had a child, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and they don't know how to read and they don't know how to write, but if you drive past McDonald's, they're going to scream and holler and fall out a panic attack if they can't get nuggets and the Happy Meal. Why? Because McDonald's is consistent. It's visibly consistent for them. And so consistency is the must-have.
That is so good. Wow, our time is just almost gone. But will you spend a couple of minutes just to encourage our viewers who are watching? We have people watching from all over the world. And so will you encourage them today?
Absolutely. Let me just say, what you have to offer is needed in the world. Business, ministry, nonprofit, whoever you're serving, it is needed in the world. And so don't talk yourself out of putting yourself out there. Don't talk yourself out of opportunities. Don't talk yourself out of whether it's good enough, or my ministry isn't big as this one, or my business doesn't look like this one's online. That's what I would leave our viewers with, our listeners with today, is don't talk yourself out of promoting yourself. Get out there. And those of us that are faith-based, we know that God puts his super on our natural. And so, but he got to have something to work with. So give him something to work with.
Give them something to work with. I love that. And, also, Sharvette, I love that, you even said that the world needs you.
Yes.
And, I'm always telling people, especially women, that you may not be in the front of the church or the front of the office, but there's somewhere that you could fit in to do what you do, to be you.
Yes.
And just not have that fear. Take away the fear and just do it.
Just do it.
Somebody needs to hear from you. Somebody needs to hear your story. Just do it.
Just do it.
I love that. Well, thank you again so much for being on our show today.
Awesome.
When you come back, you have so much to offer. And, I just love your wisdom. And, you have such a sweet personality. And I love that you love sharing and building not only women, but building people. So I love that about you. So hopefully you'll come back again.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I'm going to get you on the show. We'll be sending a request. So we'll be on the show.
That sounds wonderful. And make sure to go to her page and check out her website. And hey girl, hey. Is that right?
SharvetteMitchell.com will take you to everything. Sharvette.
Yeah. So make sure to go and do that. Make sure to get that book that's coming out in November. Look out for the pre-sales. I can't wait to get it myself. Also, the conference that's coming up in November as well. So make sure just to go to her page and go to her website. And like I said, if you're looking for a conference speaker, she would do an amazing job for your conference. So men and women.
Thank
All
you.
right. So thank you again, Sharvette Mitchell, for being on Conversations with Dr. Harriet right here on the Power Network. We'll see you next time. Bye.